The Transcontinental Railroad was a very important part in American history. Finally, there was a railroad reaching from coast to coast. However, people rarely talk about the history behind the two engines that met at Promontory Summit, Utah on that day in 1869. These were Union Pacific number 119 and Central Pacific number 60, named Jupiter, both being post-Civil War 440 steam locomotives. But today in this video, I'm going to tell you the story behind these engines that many people don't really talk about. With that being said, let's get this intro over with. Most of my research is based off of this bit of text by the National Park Service. Link is in the description. First up is Union Pacific number 119. Number 119 was built in 1868 by Rogers Locomotive and Machine Works in Peterson, New Jersey. It was a part of a group of coal-burning 440s numbered 116 through 120, used for both freight and passenger service. 7 months after the locomotive was built, the Union Pacific Vice President Thomas Durant and a group of other important people were traveling to Promontory Summit in what was called the Durant Special. The train was originally being pulled by a different unknown locomotive. Since it's unknown, I'm just going to use whatever I end up choosing. En route to Promontory Summit, the train had to stop at a siding in Piedmont, Wyoming. Here, there were more than 400 laid-off workers who had been waiting to be paid for 3 months. After 2 days, all the men got paid, but the Golden Spike ceremony had to be moved from May 8th to May 10th. Unfortunately, this was actually the least of their worries. At the Devil's Gate Bridge, the Weber River had taken out some supports due to rain making it rise. The engineer refused to cross the bridge with the locomotive because it was not considered safe enough. It was, however, considered safe enough for the passenger cars. So each passenger car would be pushed across successfully, but now the train had no engine to pull it. So a message was sent to Ogden, Utah for a locomotive. Since number 119 was next to the main line, it was sent to rescue the train and attend the Golden Spike ceremony. After the ceremony, 119 would continue its service on the Union Pacific. In 1882, the engine was renumbered to 343 and held this number until it was scrapped in 1903 after 35 years of service. Next up is Central Pacific's Jupiter. Jupiter, otherwise known as Central Pacific number 60, was built in 1868 by Schenectady Locomotive Works in New York. It was one of 4 440 locomotives, the others being Storm, Whirlwind, and Leviathan. Like many Central Pacific locomotives during this time, the engines had to be dismantled and loaded onto ships. Then the ships would travel around South America's Cape Horn to San Francisco. From there, the locomotives were placed into barges, then towed to Sacramento, where they were reassembled. In March 1869, Central Pacific President Leland Stanford was traveling to Promontory Summit. Originally, the engine pulling the train was numbered 29, named Antelope. This train was following another train that was carrying sightseers. While traveling through a mountain cut, the sightseer train had a small flag, meaning there was another train following close by. Unfortunately, the workers clearing the cut did not understand the flag. Shortly after the train passed, the workers rolled a log down the cut. But shortly after, Stanford's train came and the Antelope struck the log. The engine did not derail, but it was very badly damaged. After Antelope limped to the next station, the cars were coupled to the train that was right in front of Stanford's train. And the engine pulling the train that was right in front of them was none other than Jupiter. After the Golden Spike ceremony, Jupiter continued service. When the locomotive was repainted in the 1870s, the name Jupiter was removed. In 1891, it was renumbered to 1195. Also during this time, the engine would gain a new boiler, new bonnet, and new cowcatcher. In 1893, 1195 was converted from a wood burner to a coal burner. At this point, the engine did not even closely resemble what it once looked like as Jupiter. Later in 1893, 1195 was sold to the Gila Valley Globe and Northern Railroad in Arizona as the first engine on the railroad. So the engine would be renumbered to 1. The engine ran on the railroad with a loyal following until 1909. The engine's last engineer tried to have it preserved, but they were unsuccessful. So, in 1909, the engine was scrapped after 41 years of service. Some of y'all might be wondering why I care about this. Well, in history, you gotta know more than just like the very famous stuff. It's always good when you can dig deeper. That is especially important for events like this, because events like this are what helped America last for 250 years.